Hello, my name is Gabriel from GabakUSA. In this video, I'm going to show you how to clean up inside the Mac Mini. Also, if you buy some computer on eBay or something like that, and you see that there are some missing screws, or maybe something is loose inside, I'm going to teach you step by step how you can take it apart and fix it yourself. So let's start. Now we are going to work with this Mac Mini. So this model is 2011, 2012. So we're going to work on this. As you can hear, okay, something is wrong. So I bought this Mac Mini on eBay, and this machine has some issue. I mean, it works. Apparently, it works fine, but when I start moving it, I hear some rattling inside. So surely there is some loose screw. So usually when you see those things, it's because they didn't upgrade it properly, and they did things without taking care of the machine. So you should be able to work in these computers without any issue. We're going to take it apart. I'm going to show you step by step everything that you have to do when you have something like that. So now we are going to change camera so you can see. There we go. Here we have the computer. I'm going to use my powerful Swift knife. You can have all your tools that you want. I have a knife exit kit, but in this case, I think it will be easier with this. So in this case, what we can do is use this mat. So in this case, if you want, what we can do, I'm going to zoom out so you can see it a little bit better. There you go. So what I'm using here is this piece of fabric, so that way you're not going to scratch the surface of this side. It will not look good. In this case, we are going to leave it like that, and we're going to remove the screw here. I'm going to zoom out a little bit more so you can see everything. So this other screw was here, and we have another screw. We're going to leave it here. So that way we know where it goes. So we can make maybe the drawing here. We're going to leave it like that, so we know where it goes. Next time we can do something else. I mean, usually you're not going to have a lot of screws, but if this is your first time, you know, it's better to be cautious about this. So we're going to remove these screws here, and this is for the grade. So we can write here the graphic. Okay. Great. There we go. Cool. Okay, now we have that. Now we have to have some screwdriver. It will not cut it. So we are going to use this screwdriver. I think it will fit fine. If it doesn't fit, we're going to grab another one. So this is for a cell phone. So I'm going to grab my iFixit. That way I know I'm going to be able to remove everything. Okay, here I have my iFixit. We're going to, so in this case we are using E6, so that is the number. Okay, now we are going to use our gloves. So if you want some anti-static gloves, I'll try to leave in the video description everything that you need in order to work safely. Remember that the computer, if you don't be cautious about the static, you may damage some circuits. So in this case, we're going to leave it like that. We're going to remove the RAM. We're going to leave it in one side. I'm going to do the same thing here. Okay, now that we move this, we're going to try to disconnect everything. So I'm going to move this away a little bit, because in this case it's no magnet, so you have to be cautious that nothing will be moving around. So I think this is close enough, so you're going to be able to see everything better. So in this case, we can use some pressure here. There we go. If you are if you do it very gently, you will not damage anything. If you don't have any practice and you are afraid, you can use maybe one of these prior tools to do the same thing. So in this case, make sure that the screw will not fall. So if you want, you can blow the fan, so that way you can clean it and it will last longer. So now that we have here, so we have here dust, as you can see, and we are going to clean it up a little bit later. So what we are going to do is try to remove the grill here, the grid, and be very careful. We have cables here. So here you have the connector. So we are going to pry it a little bit here, always with a lot of care. Yeah, so otherwise you may damage the connector. So here you can see this is the grid. So here we have the Wi-Fi antenna. We're going to leave it in one side. Here we have the hard drive. The solid state drive. So in this case, here we have this little piece of rubber that we have to put it in this hole later. So we're going to try to work on that later on without the gloves. In that case, it will be easier. And now that we have this, we're going to use another tool that I have here. And we have to keep disconnecting things. So here it goes like that. You put it all the way here until the end, and then you have to push toward this side. Before doing that we have to keep removing more things. In this case, we are going to remove this. Otherwise, it will not work. So you can leave it there. Here we have the other screw. We're going to leave it in one side. I'm going to remove this. So what I recommend usually is leaving the screw in the same. I know it's going to be a little bit difficult to see with these gloves, but you can leave it here. So once you have it here, you can leave this part in another part of the table. That way you're going to be able to have all the screws, and you will not lose anything. Now we have another screw here. We will have to remove. This is a long one. We can do the same thing in our mat. So we are going to make the drawing and leave the screw over there. So as you can see, I wrote motherboard, and we should be able to keep working. So now that we just removed that screw, we have to push like you saw, and then we're going to be able to remove the motherboard and everything else. Before moving forward and moving everything that you see here, we're going to use the pry tool to disconnect the hard drives. Now that you have the hard drives disconnected, you can remove them. There we go. Now we can clean it later. And this is the hard drive. So I'm going to leave it in one side. Now Remember, we have to keep unplugging things. So in this case, we have this here. This connector, there you go. Now we're almost done. So we have the other connector here that we have to unplug. And I see something, now I see the piece, I think, laying around. So now we're going to use the plastic tool in this case. There you go. Cool. Now we just unplug that. We have the motherboard out. So we're going to try to zoom out so you can see a little bit better how is everything on the table. And here we have the speaker. This computer, when I turn on this computer, the chime is not that strong, so I want to make sure that everything is properly connected, everything is well. So you can see it's very dirty inside, so I'm going to blow some air, make sure you don't have to break anything. And let's see the piece that was, okay, I found the piece. Ha! Here is, I see the problem. So I'm going to show you now. So that was the piece that was floating around. So here, if you want to remove the power supply, you have to turn this and then turn it back on, and then you have to put this piece of metal over there on the bottom, so that way it will stay firm. So that was the issue with this drive. And what I can do in this case, if we want more speed or something like that, we can replace the hard drive for something else or for another solid state drive, but this is not my case. I have this drive here, so I think I will be okay, and I'll try to clean it up, and I will be back in a little bit. Before I move on, I'm going to show you, this is the metal that I was saying before. So I'll try to zoom in so you can see it very closely. This is the metal that we have to fix. So we have to put it straight and push until you hear the noise, the click, and this should be pretty straight. So once it's there, it should remain there. Make sure it will stay firm, so that way it will not be floating around as before. Okay, we are back. We are back. We clean everything, so you have to blow it, but very careful. I mean, it's strong enough just to remove the dust, but not any stronger. You don't want to blow away any piece of any electronic. So as you can see, the difference here in one side, in the other, everything very clean. And now we are going to put it back, so everything should work as before, or better in this case, because we don't have the piece that was floating around. So make sure that everything looks good, everything is connected all the way. Like I said before, in this case, the chime wasn't strong enough, so I didn't know what could it be, something not properly connected all the way or something like that. So no, in this case, I think everything looks fine. So we're going to put it as it was before. In this case, we're going to start sliding the motherboard. There you go. Not all the way. Remember, we have to plug everything, and we have to put the other hard drive and everything else. So in this case, We're going to push here. Make sure that it sits. There we go. Good. Now it's well connected. Now we're going to try to slide this hard drive. Make sure that this PROM will fit inside of the device. So in this case, make sure inside you have those. All right, now that we have accomplished that, we have to keep pushing. I'm going to zoom out. There we go. Make sure it will fit here and here on both sides. And then you keep pushing until you hear this. You hear it snapping inside and almost there. Yep. So now we can connect these two plugs here. These are the two hard drives. So if those are not well connected, your computer will not work. Alright, try not to push too hard, otherwise it may unplug the other connectors here. So once we have that, we have to put everything as it was before. So this cover, everything was very dusty, so now almost like a brand new. Now we're going to put the screws back in, some of them. So as you remember, here we have the mobile, so that way you know where it goes. Now we have the RAM here. Remember this connector as well, so we can push it back. There you go, that is very important. And now we're going to keep moving, putting the other things. In this case, we have this screw here that we can remove in this case, so we can make it fit. Now we're going to screw back. So here, this part that we are putting here is for the heatsink here. So you can see we are going to connect this in the last connector here, and all the screw goes here, so everything will fit just fine. Now make sure, be careful with this, and we're almost finished here. Okay, now one stick more of RAM. There you go. Now remember, we have to connect the Wi-Fi. Here we have the Wi-Fi. Here we have the rubber thing. It's a rubber, so I hope it will fit fine. Here back, I make it fit. Okay, it's all the way. This piece of rubber is not very in good shape, but I think it will do the trick. So in this case, we're going to connect it as it was before. We're going to put the gloves back, and we can use this screwdriver in this case to push the connector. There you go. I mean, you can use the screwdriver, this, whatever it works for you. Make sure that you will not damage it. So now we have to put the cable underneath, and now be very gentle with this. You have to fit under the aluminum. And there you go. So make sure it fits well. So if you have some difficulties that I've seen in the past, that for some reason it doesn't fit or something like that, you can try to use maybe this piece of metal or something to lift it up a little bit, and then everything should fit just fine here. And after that, we're going to bring back the connector, the mat, as you can see. And there you go. There is no way that you can miss. You cannot miss the screw. So in this case, this screwdriver, these screws, they go here in the middle. Don't push too hard, otherwise you may unplug the hard drive. And do the same here. We are going to use it like that. And I hope I don't have to take this computer again. I don't have to take apart this computer again, so surely it will last for many, many years. So now I'm going to tighten them up a little bit more. Now we're going, remember we have this here, so we can grab this screwdriver and put it here. So this screws is for the lid here, so it will fit, as you can see, here, here, and those in both ends, and that's it. There you go. There you have it. Was very easy. So now make sure. Yes, I'm putting the white dot here, so that is the open side, and then you move it to the other side, and it fits just well. So before it was kind of painful. I think it wasn't. Everything wasn't built properly, so that was the job for now. I hope you have enjoyed this video. Remember, click like, subscribe to my channel, and leave me your comment about your computer, so if you have done this successfully and everything was okay. See you next class. Bye.